Welcome back. SARS has filed papers against journalist and author Jacques Pauw for his controversial book, The President's Keepers. The Revenue Service is accusing Pauw of contravening the Tax Administration Act by revealing confidential taxpayer information. Well, Jacques Pauw joins us now on the line for more on this story. Jacques, ENCA specialist reporter Karen Moore has described this action by SARS as a truly bizarre litigation. What is your response?
I agree. I think it's not only bizarre. I think it is utterly malicious, and it's going to cost the taxpayer a lot of money. SARS has already laid criminal charges against me at the Hatfield Police Station in Pretoria for contravening the Tax Administration Act by publishing confidential taxpayers' information. So there's criminal charges against me. Now they come and they want an order from the Western Cape High Court that I have in fact contravened the sections of the Tax Administration Act. Well, I suppose they'll fly with a battery of senior advocates to the High Court in Cape Town, and it's going to cost a lot of money, and I simply don't understand what they are trying to achieve.
Yeah, that is the big question here, and plenty of people questioning exactly what SARS is trying to achieve, especially because it will most likely lay bare the President's tax affairs, going contrary to what SARS says it's trying to do, and that is protecting the President as a taxpayer.
Absolutely. I don't know how they're going to convince the Western Cape High Court that I've contravened the Tax Administration Act without showing that what I've published is true. So is SARS going to come along and say to the Western Cape High Court, well, they have in fact indicated that in the affidavit by Tom Moyane. So are they basically now saying to the Western Cape High Court, listen, everything in the President's Keepers is true, but we want you to give us an order that the author has contravened the Tax Administration Act. I don't know what they're trying to do. You know, Tom Moyane makes a 28-page affidavit, and 16 of those pages are examples from my book where they say I've contravened the Act. Now, he mentions there, you know, sort of payments to Jacob Zuma, payments to his son Edward Zuma, the tax predicament of the Nkandla upgrades. He mentions there, for example, that there was an investigation against the Gupta, and maybe Mr. Moyane should explain to us what's happened to the investigation against the Guptas. What has happened to the investigation against gangsters like Mark Liffman and Robert Wang and Adriano Mazzotti? What has happened to all those investigations? Instead of targeting me, I've been a journalist for many, many years. I've revealed the tax affairs of people like Julius Malema, of Glenn Agliati, of Radovan Krejcir. Nobody has ever been charged with the Tax Administration Act. I think it's the first time ever that a journalist has been targeted in this manner.
Jacques, you talk about SARS Commissioner Tom Moyane. We're also told by SARS spokesperson Sandile Memela that Tom Moyane does intend bringing a defamation case against you as well.
Well, you know, Moyane can come with a defamation case. Moyane's problem will be that if he brings a defamation case, he will have to get into the witness box, and he will have to be cross-examined. Now, can you imagine we start cross-examining Moyane about cases that have disappeared, the tax case of the President, the 50 billion rand shortfall of SARS, what has happened to the Gupta investigation, what happened with the reappointment of Mr. Mkwakwa? Absolutely. So Mr. Moyane he can come any day with a defamation suit.
Jacques, does it strike you that this might be seen as a political maneuver? I mean, we saw former Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan going to court also seeking what SARS is seeking, which is a declaratory order well, Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan was seeking an order that he cannot intervene in the banks and the relationship between banks and their clients. But could this also be seen in some way, as that matter was, as somewhat of a political maneuver, as we try to unpack exactly what it could mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, I absolutely agree with you. You know, this comes after state security has targeted me. This comes after the shenanigans of Colonel Moodley in Durban, and now SARS. And it just seems like an orchestrated campaign to, you know, just to try and hit at me wherever they can. As I say, I mean, this is a completely bizarre order. I don't know what they're trying to achieve. I'm sure Mr. Moyane would come with a defamation case. I don't think that case would ever go to court. So heaven knows who's next. I don't know whether they're trying to legally exhaust me, which they will not achieve. So, you know, I haven't had time to consult with my legal team yet. But we will oppose the application, and we will fight it in every way we can.
All right. Well, thanks very much for taking the time to talk to us here on ENCA. That was journalist and author of The President's Keepers, Jacques